I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me. Yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 303 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Damn Skippy, Mr. Hollis Thomas in the building. We're talking the Eagles versus Commanders preview. Shout out to the guys. They're busy working today. We're going to work today on this show talking about, I think there's a lot of emotion going into this weekend. A lot of Wentz stands out there. There are a lot of conflicted Jalen Hurts haters. It's a weird space to be in, but I think as Eagle fans who are hyped up, shout out to Philly Sports Trips. You might have seen the billboard saying, "We are coming for you, Carson," because we got 20 buses coming down. I was listening to a Washington podcast, and they were mentioning the trip. They were mentioning,
oh, nice.
They were mentioning the legion of Eagle fans going down there, and I think they're feeling a certain way as the stadium could be a 40 to 60, maybe a 50-50 split. But I think, at the end of the day, I think it's an opportunity to go against Carson Wentz and settle it for once. Jalen versus Carson. There's a lot to be talked about, and I think we're gonna have that moment this week. And how are you feeling going into this game?
Well, the funny thing is we were talking about before we came on, and I was telling you about a lot of the people just in general who are Carson lovers, and who hated to see him go, even though he was doing what he was doing. And as you hear the hate, the way they continue to critique Jalen Hurts, and all he's done is progress and it's starting to become a really good quarterback, and that's what he's striving to do. I was like, but they can't seem to get Carson out of their skin, because I still hear people steadily talking about he's going to be good. He's going to be good. It's only one person who I heard, Chris Long. Chris Long was doing his podcast. He was like, he's like, he wouldn't boo Carson. He liked Carson. He's like, but this is his last opportunity if he's going to change anything, because you don't continually get you very seldom get a second chance. This is his third chance to get things right, and it's like for him. You're pulling for him if you know him, but if you're a true Eagles fan, he's moved on. He's two teams removed from our squad. Why are you still bitching and moaning about him and worried about him? We don't give a damn. Now we got the draft pick. I don't see the love fest, because they're continually beating up Jalen Hurts because they're so butthurt because they thought Carson was going to go to the coast last year and not stink up the joint. They continue to throw up his numbers. His numbers don't mean anything because they came at the wrong damn time.
Well,
can't wait. No, I just saw somebody. Can't wait for the fans. But when you talk about the fans takeover, dude, do you know how smooth and how cool that's gonna be? We got 1,100 plus coming down, plus some people that's gonna be meeting us at the tailgate that's going in the game with us. Not to mention, it's already Eagles fans that probably are going to the game. Do you know how awesome that's gonna be? Especially being a former player and being able, it was times like, I know we went to New Orleans when I was playing. We took over. I can hear the Eagles chant. I was like, because that's when I first, let's see, which year was it when I first realized how it was when we was playing against Arizona. It was like, there's so many fans down in Arizona when I, like my first 2 or 3 years going down there, and then we was able to finally win. We hadn't won down there in ever. And we heard all our fans over their fans. Our fans just travel good. That our fans are great. So I don't know what you expected at the game that close by. We're not gonna take it over.
Yeah, a lot of podcasts that I've listened to, shout out to Washington's NBC channel. They were a little concerned about the split, and I think at the end of the day they should be concerned about this football team. I think this football team over the last couple of weeks, putting up points. This offense has been a juggernaut as of late. The rushing attack of the Eagles has been stellar. Led by the legs of Jalen Hurts when he wants to. Miles Sanders has played phenomenally well the last two games, and then they've shown the ability to attack you through the air as well. So I mean, I think this offense is really going to take it to their defense. Their defense is,
the defense is actually they're actually 28th ranked versus the run. When you said they they haven't been doing, they give up 4 to 6 yards of fury per game currently. It's only their second game, but I was looking at closely at that run statistics, and I went back and I was looking at some film. They haven't got their run fits down that good, and they're missing the Chase Young, because Chase Young is out for another week or so, another couple of weeks. They're missing. I think they're kind of starting to miss his presence. They have a good young defense, but when you look at the way teams have attacked them, like you look at the way the Detroit attacked them and how they out physical them, and they hit them with some old school. Detroit hit them with some of those old school plays, those rub doubles and stuff, and some of those same traps that they were hitting us with. So I mean, I told you earlier this season, this is a copycat league, and if they can't stop those plays, I guarantee you we're gonna be running some of them up their ass as well.
Yeah, I know this defense has given up a lot of chunk plays over the last couple games. Right now they're averaging 29 points a game. They're giving up. If you look at the Lions, led by Jared Goff, guys,
wow.
You look at the Washington blogs and they were clowning us for having a little struggle with Jared later.
We did have trouble, yeah.
But Jared, they gave up 4 touchdowns, and he had a passing rate of 121.7. This defense gave up 191 yards on 24 carries to Detroit. That's 8 yards per carry. They've had some issues. I mean, one of their strong guys up front, Deron Payne, he's been pretty solid for them. Last game against the Lions, had a sack, 5 pressures, tackle for loss, and 4 tackles.
But that's not good. That's not. It's like if you're not stopping the run, nobody care about no damn pressure on the quarterback. If you're giving up the rhythm 8 yards a carry, I ain't got to pass. That's what makes the 28th of rushers. So like sometimes when people start talking about, they got pass rushers. Oh yeah, you know how you stop a pass rusher? You run the ball down their throat, get them tired of rushing the passer and not knowing when you're gonna pass, and then you pass. It's like it's easy. It's like. I don't know. You can't be 28th versus run and don't think nobody's going to run the ball down your throat. And we don't have to pass. Yeah, you got pass rushers, but how they going to get off if you can't stop the run?
Yeah. Now, Dad says, does the FedEx fall apart this time? They need to tear that dumpster down. Those we had Andrew. He was one of the Eagle fans that fell out of the stadium. I know there is a lawsuit in works, so hopefully they get paid off of that.
Well, they should, man. The stadium is coming apart, dude. It was a rail, and it's not like it was like close to the it's different if it was like right behind the bench and it was close to the field. Man, that was up high as a muggy. And I don't even know if muggy is a word. It was higher than a motherfucker. And then it will be different if a bunch of people leaned over on it, but it looked like they had just a shoestring up there holding everybody back, a shoestring with bubble gum on it because they came tumbling down.
Now, Dad also mentions, like, I don't think about ex-girlfriends like this Carson breakup. Let it go, peeps.
Thank you.
It's time. It's time. Like, I think this is a showdown, and if you haven't forgotten, the ultimate bus trip to FedEx Field will start this weekend. We're coming from Carson is the sign that you might see on 95 as we speak. But talking about obviously we have to make up scenarios in our head. Like, biggest concerns going into this game for you?
For me, I want to say the passing attack. They have a decent receiving core. That's pretty much one of the things is they have a decent receiver core, and if we let Carson stand back there, he will pick us apart. He is an NFL quarterback, and he can get hot. We can't let him get the confidence that he needs to get hot. And that's the one thing that kind of ticks me off. That if we let this clown get hot, the other thing too is we can't let their defense get any confidence. We can't let their defense dictate to us what we do. We need to offensively. We need to come out there and kick them in the teeth and let them know that that's how it's going to be all game long. Because if you let their defense get confidence, then all these stats and stuff that I looked up that the other teams have garnered against them, they don't mean nothing. So you got to take them make their weakness continue to be their weakness. Make them hold up a blow up. But the one thing that does really scare me is a pass attack if we allow Carson to get hot.
Now you talk about that pass attack. That was one of the things that not that I'm like concerned. This is for conversation, obviously.
Right.
But, they have guys like Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel has been one of their. He's got guarded the most targets as of late.
Mm-hmm.
He's been injured in the past, but he's a big part of their offense as of late. Scary Terry. Talk about
Scary Terry. Yeah,
he's a guy that can get deep and get that yak as well. But the newly drafted. A lot of you Penn State fans know Jahan Dotson. He's been very solid for a rookie. He's already got 3 touchdowns on the season, but obviously those are going to be his 3 targets.
Logan Thomas too. Logan Thomas. Yeah, Logan Thomas is a pretty good tight end. It's
converted quarterback.
Yeah, he was a quarterback at Virginia Tech.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's like he was decent at quarterback. He kind of sucked, but I kind of figured they was going to change him over when I was like, man, he's big as hell. He's going to be a tight end. But when you look at it, the one thing that we don't, if we allow Carson to stand back there and pick us apart, he will. It's like if you saw Kirk Cousins last week. You saw Kirk Cousins. He carved up Green Bay the week before. I was like, but we didn't allow him to stay on this spot. We affected almost all of his throws. And then you saw when we let our foot off the gas defensively with the pressure packages, you saw them just march downfield, just like it was nothing. With no pressure, that's what they're gonna do. It's gonna be like 7-on-7. That's the only thing is our defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, gonna still have the nuts to do what we did last week. I mean, you don't have to do it all the time, but you can't let this kid get comfortable, and you have to give our defensive line some help to come back there and put some pressure on it before you start just turning 4 loose on them. So
now I saw a stat out there from shout out to Shane Half. He said Carson Wentz has a completion percentage of 71.2% with an 8.6 yards per attempt when not under pressure.
Exactly.
That pressure you talk about that pressure. Those numbers dropped to 47.6% completion and a 3.9 yards per attempt when he's under pressure. He says it is critical that the Eagles pass rush gets home early on Sunday. That's we talk about that. We talk about the moment when Carson Wentz turns into Captain Saver, bro, with the extra pressure.
Right.
And he thinks he can make that extra step up in the pocket, and that's where he fumbles.
Yeah, but you want that pressure. You want him running under duress. It's like other thing to add to what you were saying. They're 56% on third down. When you're a good defense, you try to keep them at 33% or less on third down. Now their defense is holding opponents to 28% on third down. So it's like we got to get third down. We got to make third downs, and we got to stop them. We got to get their ass off the field. But he has thrown 3 picks, so he will throw the ball to you.
Yeah, I mean he's known for that. Like it's almost like it's random. Like he gets, you talk about that hot streak you were talking about earlier,
right.
And then he has that moment where he just chucks it up. That one I know the one pick he threw against the Lions, he just airmailed that, John. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. But I think he's gonna come out with a purpose, like he's gonna come out with revenge on his mind. But he's a quarterback, so when a quarterback comes out with revenge on his mind, it's not that good because he doesn't like quarterbacks. Got to come out and have to be in control, have control anger. They have to. When I say control, they have to be able to control themselves. It's like you can't come out there if I'm a defensive lineman, I go out there and I can just start kicking ass. It's like I got one gap, I got one responsibility: create havoc. That's like you're a quarterback. You got to make sure everybody's on side. You got to have the cadence. You got to pay attention to the play clock. So you can't come out there hell bent for leather like anybody else. So what's it? Watch for the pipes.
Yeah. Now shout out to Elena. She says I'm sick of them dogging Hurts and Wentz. Let's just win the games. Again, I mean, winning solves everything. You catch a dub. I was reading one of the Joe Santa Loquito article.
Santa Loquito?
Talking about, Hurts kind of like taking the high road, but basically his article basically talked about how, the situation in the locker room was this is what
It's his fault.
this is what the article said. So
Okay.
The Carson Wentz had kind of like the cool kids table. If you weren't
Right.
at the cool kids table, he really didn't pay much attention to you. And it had talked about the moments of Jalen Hurts being a guy who just put his head down, went to work, and it was kind of like they had a quote in there saying they said it was funny. I guess the players had mentioned it was kind of funny because like he had just gotten paid,
Mhm.
and the fact that he was feeling insecure about his situation. Some of the players were like, "Why are you feeling this? Well, you just got paid." And here you have Jalen Hurts, who's just a guy who's your teammate, and there was really no. I don't know. Like I'm not in the locker room, but that's what the article said.
I know.
I know you might have some.
Yeah. It was no. He wasn't endearing. It's like one of those things where they just gave me $100 million or so. I know that they're not about to cut me. I know this is my team, at least for the next 4 years. I know I have. It's just like why would they do something of that stature? And to be that insecure about your spot, it's like you're holding the golden destiny. You're basically Destiny Child. They just literally gave you $100 million contract, which you really didn't deserve because you hadn't really been healthy for a full season, and you hadn't done. It's like everybody was kissing his ass and stuff. I was like, why are we kissing his ass? They're like, well, they keep on bringing up 2017 when he had a close to MVP season. Close only counts for rush roulette and horseshoes. Stop it. He didn't win the MVP. I was like, I don't know if he'd have won the Super Bowl because the playoffs is a different animal. He couldn't even stay healthy in the one playoff game. He's played 15 plays of a playoff game. 15. So I mean, and actually somebody just mentioned it. They're also switching centers. Yes, they are. That's why the pigeons on this list should make us pressure bust pipes, and we should make his pipes burst all over the place just to let him know that he fucked up. he messed up a great he messed up a great situation. He could have been here. He could have been the mentor to Jalen Hurts, and they could have been buddies. I was like, but he's worried about they drafted him to take everybody. You're not impervious to your spot being on the line. I was like, they gave you a lot of money, so you got 3 or 4 years because you're going to be on the books. But now you're no longer on the books, and I really don't care. I just hate when I hear when I listen to our local sports outlets. They still suck at kissing his hairy beanbag, and for nothing. And they always bring some bullshit stat out their head. Always talk about 2017. Get something else. Talk about when we went to the playoffs. He didn't finish the fucking season. And they go talk about something he was playing with no. You know how much a person that's on practice squad is waiting for their chance to play. Everybody is an ankle twist away from being a starter. It's like all you need if you're at this level for a reason. All you need is an opportunity. You need an opportunity. When they give you that opportunity, you seize the second, or they move on. So, as like I keep hearing everybody keeps asking me what's wrong with my boy Ike because he's all over Jalen Hurts. I was like, Ike is my boy, but I was like, I don't know what his problem with Jalen is. My boy at Carl's Cards named John. He was telling some he needs to work on his thumb motion. John, if you don't shut the fuck up and just get on the bandwagon. Evan Almighty, who's not here with us currently. I was like, but he's always saying he did good, but nothing. It's like either you with us, like I told people, either you with us or against us. When you start talking that butt shit, that's like I can't fuck with you like that. So,
well, I mean, if you like, let's talk about Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts, like for some it was the come to Jesus moment with his performance last week. I think at the end of the day, you got to realize that he's a work in progress, and the progression is what you wanted to see it as a fan. Right now, Hurts is the second in the NFL in pass attempts to his left and first in yards per attempt on passes in the middle of the field. He leads the league in yards per attempt, a 9.14. Also has a 90.8 passing grade through 2
nice.
weeks, which is highest in the league. He also has 3 big-time throws and 0 turnover-worthy plays. Only QBs without a turnover-worthy plays this year so far are Hurts, Flacco, and Jimmy G.
Nice.
That's shout out to my boy Braxton from PFF. He threw some numbers at me. I was like, what you got on
Hey,
numbers?
well, when you look at what's going down, he's playing the first stellar 2 games. This is the first time that he's been with the same offensive coordinator for 2 years straight since he goes back all the way to high school, and he's flourishing. And all the stuff that I understand when people are saying the things that he needs to work on. I was like, but he understands that too. And like I said this the last show. The reason why I fell in love with this kid was because he takes to coaching. He takes coaching. It's like when I listen to Carson, like Carson he doesn't talk about taking coaching. He's talking about that's the way he plays. He's not going to change the way he plays. Well, you need to. It's like because what you was doing was had you lead the league in interceptions. I only know like one person that's led the league in interceptions in multiple years, and that's the guy who's currently in trouble for stealing welfare money. He's led the league multiple times in throwing picks, and they still call him one of the greatest. So we do have some. Yeah, we do need to humiliate Wentz. We need to go out there and kick his ass. The defense should take it personal that he actually didn't want to play. Everybody on the team that played with him should take it personal because he wanted out. He wanted out. They gave you the keys to the car. They gave you keys to everything. It was Carson. You got a coach fired, and you are you kidding me? You got a coach fired, and you still wanted out. Man, fuck you.
Now Muhammad in the comments says, where are you all going to be at? He's going to be in section 117. We'll be in the lower area. So
yeah,
I'll be exactly where my ticket is at the moment, but we are going to be tailgating out there. There are tailgate tickets still available. So
yes,
check out Philly Sports Trips if you would like to join us.
Yeah, I'll be tailgating my ass off, handling business down there, getting rowdy, about it. And then I'm gonna watch the game from my bus though. I went in the watch the game last year. Those seats are not built for big dogs. I'm sorry.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how I get claustrophobic just being on a bus. I don't know how you sit in the seat.
At a game, well, normally if I'm invited to a game, I try to get invited to where I'm in a box somewhere, to where the bathroom is right there, and they got the big seats and stuff, and they have the bar so I can sit up there and watch the game. But if I'm sitting in one of those seats that look like they cut me in half, I can't do it. Won't do it.
Now let's talk about some more biggest matchups first. The Commanders. Any other guys that you want to take advantage of? Because we talk about pigeons a lot. We talk about pigeons on the podcast.
Well, yeah. Well, my main pigeons is the kid, the left guard, Noel, and the center. What you say his name? Schweitzer.
Wes Schweitzer is it Schweitzer?
Not Wes, yeah, Schweitzer, yes. Wes Schweitzer and Turner. Turner started out with the Carolina Panthers, and he used to get his ass handed to him on the regular. It says he just got to the Commanders this year, but they've been thrust into action because their starters, 2 of their starters, Beavers and Roller there on IR. So but the Turner guy is questionable. So whoever we should be able to give him clear and present danger. Clear and present danger means right up the gut, pressure right up the gut early and often, just to get him off his squirm, and then just to disguise the coverages. Sometimes we can't continue like the first game. I don't know if you remember, we were doing a lot of man coverage, a lot of man under, and so our defensive backs were really tired. You have to mix in some zone in there so they don't get that tired. And you have to run some zone pressures, which is what's up, Greg? Which is some zone pressures which would confuse the offensive line, especially since these guys haven't been together that long. So it's gonna take them a little time to build some continuity. If Jalen was a drink, what did he say?
He says if Jalen Hurts was a drink, he would be voulez-vous
I don't know what that means. I don't.
Never gets too high, it never gets too low. I mean, I think that's I just like his demeanor, man. Like that's
Yeah,
he's
but
been like that. That's not anything new. He's just been that dude. They showed that interview he had after he had like broke a record for Oklahoma's like passing yards, and he was
right.
like not even happy about it. They're like, "Can you crack a smile?" It's like what's there to crack a smile? It's like that Kobe when he's like, "Job finished, job not finished."
Job not finished. Job not finished until you get that title. It's like, and I know people were the jury was out on him at first. Oh, look, somebody got some Avante versus Samuels. They were
Yeah,
talking about matchup. That
yeah.
matchup. What
Well, I
do you
mean,
think about?
you think of Javante like last week, Avante Avante's been in his bag. Like I feel like with all the hype, not all the hype, but all the love that
Bradbury and Slade getting?
yeah, that Slay got. I think Avante was played very well. Versus Vikings, he was targeted 5 times.
Right.
Gave up 4 receptions for 33 yards and had an interception. So I think he's been solid. I think that's going to be a solid matchup. So that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I'd say because they use Samuels in a bunch of different ways, but we got to take him back to his Carolina Panther days when he just couldn't get right. That's pretty much why he's with the Commanders, is because he just couldn't get right down there. I think Avante. I think he has a good game this game because it's just like remember we was talking about it about the first game about how they were rusty and they're just getting their feet wet and stuff. This is going to be the 3rd week in a row where it's time for them to start rolling now. I would love to see a shutout, but the other team is paid to play too. But I just don't want them to let off the gas like we did last week in that one drive. Because if you do that, you give the other team some confidence, and we just can't give them that confidence. Now they run the ball decently, but not that great. But I think they run just to keep you honest. Right now they're running to keep you honest because they don't really have any continuity along the offensive line. So they run to keep you honest.
With that being said, I feel like that's a perfect opportunity to make them one-dimensional. You look at what they did to Minnesota, shut down the run, made them one-dimensional, and then that's where you trick Carson. You trick Carson, get him perplexed. Official Pete says that Vu is a champagne. My brother actually.
Okay.
My brother worked in the nightclub scene, so he knows his champagnes out there. Let's see.
It's the first champagne ever created. They're gonna have Big Day Blitz and Carson. He did a couple of blitzes last week. It was him and somebody else. Who else blitzed?
Last week?
Yeah. It was mostly DBs. That I think he should. It's like this is what I think too. It's like I think we're underutilizing Hassan Reddick. I feel like we drop him in coverage too much. 95% of the time he should be coming to get it. I'm sorry. It's like you may, even if you're trying to use him as a decoy to make them send 2 or 3 with him to open some things up. But you have to get that kid started, and you can't get him started by having them out in coverage like that all the time. It's like he was out of coverage too much, and I thought we was going to use him as a hybrid. We call it a joker. So a joker is a linebacker who can also rush the passer as well. But he's all you don't never know what he's going to do. Hence why it's called the joker.
Yeah. Now, Nuri mentioned Guard Johnson is going to have to blitz, have a big day blitzing Wentz. I think Gannon actually talked about how he's had a progression from week 1 to week 2, still learning the defense. But I think once he settles in, he said the thing that he likes about him, he's always he's most of the time in the right place. So I feel like I think he once he settles in, I think they're going to get better and better as we go.
Yeah.
Shout out to MJ. We were out with him in Detroit. But
what's up, man?
I heard it was his birthday, so happy birthday to you, MJ. I know you're living your dreams right now. It's your birthday. Do what you do.
Go, Charlie.
On your birthday. I had some other ones. I had some other things over here. I had who will have the better year? Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen.
Right now, Carson is tied for most passing yards in the league right now.
Yeah. Also tied for most picks.
I think he's second in picks. I think.
Yeah, he got 3 already. It's only been 2 games.
So I say we have to be homers on this one. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I want Jalen Hurts to have a better season. I think he will because I think the only reason I think he will is because it's the second year in his system. It's Carson's first year in the system he's currently in. This is his third team in 3 years. Remember that. So it takes a minute. It just takes a minute for you to get things down pat. So I got Jalen.
Yeah, I mean that was a layup. That was definitely a layup. Now, let's see. Biggest Eagles Commanders hot take. I'm gonna take some answers from the chat as well. So if you guys have biggest Eagles Commanders hot take, but damn Skippy, if you got a hot take, let me know.
My biggest hot take is the shit talking that the Commanders started doing right off the bat at the onset of the season with the Commanders with the Lions game with us playing. I don't know if you saw the tweet that was out that they said that we barely beat a Lions team that had a Super Bowl coach, that they had Deuce and some mediocre players. Then they turned around to get their asses handed to them. So it's been a little chippy back and forth, and I think that's why I'm loving the way we're going down there for this game, because the past few games since Jalen's been at the helm have been kind of chippy with this team. So my thing is thank you, fuck the Commanders, man. But it's just it was just kind of funny to see that particular tweet after the Lions game, and you go down there and get your ass handed to you. But I think they're going to try to stand up for Carson, and I think our squad, especially the players who played with him, who did really like him, they're going to be out to kick his ass. And that's the only way I see it. They're going to be out to kick his ass. We want the victory, mainly because this is the beginning of the NFC East, our conference play, where we want the victory. But kicking his ass is a little icing on the cake, so to speak, a little whipped cream with a cherry on top.
Now, Cody in the chat says his biggest hot take is Hurts will be more efficient. Wentz will have more yards and touchdowns, though. Stat padding. Okay.
The way I see that is that Wentz may get like two touchdown passes, but it'll probably be like not nothing big. But I think odds will come on the ground, just kicking their ass on the ground, because they haven't been able to. They've been drilling on their ground attack, because they got a couple of new linebackers and stuff, and they haven't really been able to solidify anything ground wise. So I feel like our ground attack is going to smash them through the teeth.
But they have not been able to really effectively cover the middle of the field.
That too.
Kirk went off, and then Amon St. Brown, who's in his bag as of late. Like a couple episodes ago, I was like, everyone's, we were down in Amon St. Brown, but he's been getting busy every week. So I mean,
he's been getting busy since the last 3 games of last season.
Yeah,
he was in. His brother plays for the Bears. But their dad, they from here.
Well, his dad was Mr. Universe.
Yeah, but I didn't know that they was from here. I seen their dad because he had on the jersey, but he had one half of it was Chicago, the other half was Detroit. I was like, what the fuck is that for? They both suck. And he said, yeah, I got 2 sons. I was like, oh, okay. So that was pretty cool.
Now let's see. We got Tim. His hot take is 40-7. We'll add that score predictions. In a cool tone says Smitty got to show the F out. I think Smitty did show the F out. Not show, but I think in terms of getting.
I know in a cool tone. I know what he.
Yeah, but I'm saying maximizing his touches. He got last week. He got 7 targets, 7 catches, 80 yards. I think that's clean. That's
no. Well, I think what he's saying is he's got. I think they need to put. We need to see a game where Smitty go just like take the top off the defense. It's coming to his own. It's like this is the 3rd game of the season. It's time to see a little bit of extra cheese on the taco.
Well, they had a stat out there with the most go routes to run this season. We have Marquise Brown at 37, also aka Hollywood, not the only Hollywood besides Hearn around here, but Hollywood Brown has 37. Pickens 36. Jahan Dotson with 32. Following Jahan Dotson, Devontae Smith at 31. So they are trying to get him down the field.
Oh, okay. They're not biting on it.
Just got
catch the kid. Yeah, because it's like well shit, we got Jalen Watkins. He got down the field on Monday night. That was awesome.
Stop disrespecting man's name. It's Quez, my guy.
My bad, Quez Watkins. My bad.
I'm still geeked out at that play.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And the play action and the way they remember when I told you Dallas Goedert was going to be like his main target and everybody was going to start biting on it, and that's what normally takes the top off it. That route combination where you run the tight end over there and then the one guy goes by and the cornerback who's chasing the guy going by, he has deja vu, thinking they're gonna throw that pass right there again once he passes him, and then he hits his guy with his guy keeps going. That's what happened. Like he ain't going to the snack bar.
Now Feast with Pete says, "Man, I want to see Hurts throw for 2 to 3 touchdowns this game." Feast with Pete, how many touchdowns is he going to throw this game? Give us your hot.
I don't know. How many do you think he's gonna throw?
I think he's going to throw 4.
You think he's gonna throw 4?
I think so.
You know what? Not to see. Not you just made something go in my mind. Like when we said that we was talking about how Wentz treated Jalen when he was here. I'm thinking now that Jalen's probably gonna go off this game. They're gonna go off more than he went off last game. It's gonna get exotic up in that piece. I'm just saying. I'm thinking three in the air and 2 on the ground.
Talk about somebody up in this piece. Shout out to Prime in the building.
Hey, he on the front porch too.
What's going on?
Good chilling. Okay. It's your background. Said you ain't. I thought you was on the front porch.
Yeah, I'm on the front porch. I got kicked out the house.
So, hey, Prime, what's your biggest Eagles Commanders hot take?
It's the Wentz matchup, man. I know we've been talking about this. I get clowned because I still show love to Wentz.
Yeah, you would have got clowned a minute ago.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, it's going. It's definitely going to be a big matchup because this is the opportunity for Jalen to show Wentz and and people like myself, the haters and everything, that we drafted him in the second round for a reason. And going into the season, I'm on board with the whole Jalen Hurts thing. I like what he's doing so far, and he's going to go out there this Sunday and prove that. With the weapons that he has, I see him really lighten it up. I see him really lighten up the scoreboard as well. So it's going to be a hell of a show, and I'm glad that I got the opportunity to be in the building with the rest of you guys to see it live and in action. So I'm excited to see Jalen go to work this Sunday.
Well, I can give you the Commanders are 28th versus run. So we were saying, somebody just said that your man's in them Booby Sanders should go off against these guys. I think and we was talking about hot takes. To me, I think this is going to be one of Booby's better games, which is going to open up those passes I was saying for Jalen Hurts. I think this is going to be one of his best games yet because he's been hitting it downhill like the last few games, and he's been hitting it downhill the right way and getting the yards he needed. So he's becoming a viable back. He's going to break one. I think he's going to break one this game. I think he's going to break a couple of big ones this game just by doing what he's been doing. Because these guys, and watching film on these guys, they get caught out of their gaps a lot, and their DBs take really, really bad angles. And you take a bad angle, and with the speed that we got at running back, you ain't catching them. I'm just saying.
I totally agree with you, bro. I mean, Miles Sanders is definitely due to go ahead and break his 100 yards. And this is definitely the game to go ahead and do it. I mean, I didn't know that Washington was in that position on 28th in the league with runs, but
157 a game.
Hey, that's cool. I'll take 170 something this game. And Miles has the potential to go ahead and do just that. all around. I mean, whether if it's going to be a dump off pass or screen pass, whatever, I could see him getting put into this scheme a whole lot on Sunday. So I see him having a great game.
Now, Tim Hayes in the comments says Jalen 4 total touchdowns and over 425 total yards.
Nice.
Multi-TD game for AJ Brown. Yeah, I just keep on thinking how thankful I am to have AJ Brown. Like,
who you telling, man?
Like I sleep better at night knowing that AJ Brown is. It's the middle of the field is always open when he's around.
But you know what the good thing about having him is I saw it this past game. If you saw that one deep pass that Quez Watkins caught, you saw that would not have happened had we not had AJ Brown and my boy and Dallas Goedert, because AJ Brown, he ran a short crossing route, and then Dallas Goedert ran a little bit of an over route up underneath Quez Watkins, that route combination. And those guys catching the ball as much as they had been up to that point made the defensive secondary key in on them, and Quez was able to just sneak on by. I think they thought he was going to the snack bar. So
Tim has a question in the comments. He says, "What's your thoughts on the play of Nakobe Dean?"
I think they're waiting to play Nakobe Dean until he gets the defense down pack a little bit more. I think he's it's one of those things where I think Nakobe Dean is going to a little bit later. He's going to be more of a factor, mainly because I put Nakobe Dean and TJ Edwards kind of along the same lines. When you play in that middle linebacker position, you have to know everything. And when TJ Edwards first started playing, I was a little pissed at him because not realizing that it takes a minute to learn the defense. I was a little pissed at him because he didn't come with the same thigh out that he came from Wisconsin. But then as he started learning the defense and he started playing more, then he started becoming what we see now. So I think Nakobe Dean, I think they bring him along pretty good. So they got him in some spot duty. He's the other linebacker when they're in a goal line or short yardage situation. So that's pretty much how you bring a young guy along, and then he got to get in that classroom and make sure that he knows everything. So
you bring up a good point, because I mean TJ Edwards finally started sinking in towards the end of last season. So I mean there it goes to show that. I mean, when you go ahead and you take the time and pay attention to the way you got to play the position, it will eventually start showing. And that's what it did last season going into this season. I mean, the kid is all over the field this year so far, and I hope he keeps that potential up. Now, Nakobe Dean, I mean, we knew what we were drafting. That was my go-to guy in the draft in the beginning, and I'm glad we ended up finally getting him. I mean, I was hoping for him sooner, but, it ended up playing out perfectly because, we got him for a steal at the later round. But again, he knows the position. He just needs to know the NFL level, and I don't mind him sitting out and learning from these guys. So that way,
play some special teams.
I mean that's fine, and I'm cool.
You got to play the special teams, build up that aggression. Because TJ Edwards was doing the same thing. He was on special teams. He could tell. We had damn Alex. Alex Singleton that started for the damn Denver Broncos. What the hell is going on? Dude,
yo, man, leave White Snake alone, bro. That's my boy.
I like Alex Singleton, but he was tackling people like 12 yards downfield. I was like, come on, dude. And then Alex Singleton, really? Yeah. Him and Gary.
Yeah, White Snake.
My bad. That's right. White Snake was Nate Gary. My bad.
No, I just feel like Nakobe Dean. I think he's learning, and I people had asked earlier this year in a couple podcasts. I'm like, I was always saying when he's ready. He's ready. It's really not about TJ, but TJ Edwards, and I think the thing I love about TJ Edwards is like, I ain't giving this position up. Like my play is not going to drop off. If Wentz took a note out of
a page out of his book,
this is how you do. You must protect this house at all costs. So I think TJ Edwards has played phenomenally well, and the combination of Kaiser and TJ has been great. Cody in the comments says Kaiser and TJ both about to be a free agent. Curious how he handles that. Epps, CJG are going to be free agents as well.
Sign them now. See, put it this way. This is what those guys have to do. They have to play their way into a contract by November if they want some cheese. they're gonna play their way into a contract. So if they playing great throughout the season, then they'll get an extension. If not, they'll wait till free agency or wait till they're doing well, and then get the contract. So that's why the contracts are actually real good. And you got these kids got them young, and so it's like if it pans out, then we keep going.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it could be real scary because let's just say we had a perfect season, everybody ended up playing to perfection. Now you got to worry about extending the contracts to everybody, and that's like shit, you know what I mean? So it could be a difficult situation, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're right. You know, these guys are playing for that contract, and you know, hopefully, you know, that's why Howie Roseman and those guys are in that position to go ahead and make that, you know, those decisions.
Yeah, but the one thing they put themselves in a quality position because not only does Jalen Hurts he has to complete this season. He has to complete this season on a high level. We got to see if he can sustain it too. So you're going into next year, you don't have to pay him yet. It's like, but if he goes into next year and halfway through the season he's still performing like this, then you have to start looking at that. So you look at the guys this year, if they're performing like they want to stay, and you guys can come to a comparable number, and you know that's cap friendly and puts quality cheddar in your pocket, no hometown discounts. You know, so yeah, it's easy for us to say because we're fanning it up. But if they offer you 20 or 30 million guaranteed, and you don't leave that kind of cheese on the table.
Yeah. So Mike in the comments, he says, guys, any concern that no points were scored in the second half? I think I like that curb stomp mentality for a mental picture. When you got the person there, take them out and impose your will. So I feel like we talked in the last podcast, as good as they played last week and put up numbers last in the opening game of the season. They haven't even played their best game yet. So if they're gonna play a complete game, hopefully this week.
Yeah, that's what Mike. I was thinking the same thing. I wasn't concerned about them not scoring anything. I was loving the part where they were mashing the Vikings, and the Vikings couldn't do anything to stop us. So it's like, but I would have liked to see some extra points. But that goes into where like we was talking earlier in the week, and it's going to be a point where we're putting everything together on offense, defense, special teams. Yeah, no letdowns and no mistakes. No legal man downfield. No illegal contact. No jumping off sides. No face masks. We looking for that type of game to where you may get one or two really aggressive penalties, but other than that, you're not really high on penalties, and you're clicking on all cylinders: offense, defense, and special teams. So because one of those touchdowns, I feel like is going to start coming. Some of the touchdowns will start coming from special teams if we keep making teams punt. If we keep making teams punt, I like Covey. I think Covey's going to take one to the house.
Now, Jock Talk has been begging in the comments. He wants me to read this to you.
Okay.
I had it up earlier, Jock. But Hollis, I'm from California. I went to the Eagles versus Vikings 2001. You had 4 solo tackles. I just want to say thank you for your
thanks. Hey, what was it? 2000? Was that the playoffs or was it the Monday night game? Because it was like I played them a bunch. It's like it was one time we played them. I played them when they had Brad Johnson at quarterback, Robert Smith was running back. They had it was Chris Carter, Jake Reed, and what was the tight end's name? I can't remember. It was man. And we was trying to get the ball back, and I have to show you guys it's a highlight to where I was trying to get the ball back, and I literally power bombed Robert Smith. Like it was like bow. It was like it was. I was trying to get the ball back. We needed the ball back.
Yeah.
That was when Ricky Waters alligator arm that pass that that Ty Detmer threw to him, and he was like, "For who? For what?" Yeah. Because Robert Griffin was coming across. Not Robert Griffin III. Robert Griffin, the safety they used to handle business. Was that Michael?
Yeah, Michael. Expecting a good game finally from our D line. Washington is missing interior linemen.
Thank you. Yes,
the line that we had spoke on.
Yes,
we have to blitz to get pressure this week. I don't know what to say. Okay.
You know what, Mike? I don't think it's not so much blitzing that I worry about. It's the fact that we're so vanilla up front. We don't run any stunts or anything. A stationary defensive line is the easiest thing in the world to block. You want to put the offensive line on notice that we're here to kick your ass. It's like it may be from a 3 technique, it may be from a 1 technique. Hell, the defensive end may crash down and knock the crap out of you. It's like, but you have to put them on notice that they're not just going to get the same thing every time. That's all I'm saying. Be creative with some of the stuff. You have some great athletes up front. Use them because. But I'm one that can tell you that the bull rush that they eventually they will slow that shit down. And then once your bull rush, so you can't bull rush every play, it gets tiring. So you got to be able to do some other stuff. But I agree with them a little bit. I feel like we're gonna have to blitz a little bit to get them off of what they do. But then you sick the wolves loose, sick them on them.
Feast with Pete Hollis will be there with Philly Sports Trips.
Damn Skippy,
man.
Damn Skippy.
How many times
try and stop me?
I've been telling Feast with Pete we're all going down there, bro. Come on.
Yes.
Well, you know you got to tell him a couple more times, man, because he's gonna ask again eventually.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Come on. Just repeat. Get it together.
Score predictions. We'll start with you, Prime. What's the score you got on this one?
I got 35-10, bro. I think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go ahead and blow them out. I mean, Hollis, you brought up a good point. The fact that one, they're missing their center. Their starting center is out. These guys should take advantage of the hurting that they got going on that line right now. But still, any given Sunday, divisional game, anything can happen. But I think the tables are going to get turned against them this week, and they're going to go ahead and run that score. And I can see them going 35-10. I think that's going to be the final score.
What you got?
I got let's see. I had 31-14. I feel like it's going to come out to be a little bit of a dogfight early on because of the adrenaline rush and everything, and then once we oppose our will and start smacking them in the mouth, and they're going to shrink up and shrivel up and be ready to pack the tent in, put the kid to sleep and kiss your wife goodbye.
Shrivel up, huh?
Shrivel up, just like you got out of a cold pool.
The Eagles' offense has been putting up points with ease, so I feel like this is a great game to keep up the dominance on the offensive side of the ball. I think I'm gonna go 34-17. 34-17. I feel good about that. I know the people in the comments have their predictions.
Give me some 27-7.
JD Stroh says Eagles 27-7. Darren says 51-17 Birds.
Damn.
Elena says 38-14 Birds.
Yeah, it looks like you and Elena on the same page there.
Yeah.
Jock Talk says Eagles 28-13 Washington.
Interesting.
Mark with the 48-10.
Ooh.
Hey, remember the dominance of Mike Vick? How many touchdowns did he score that game?
I don't know.
6, 7?
It was 7 touchdowns.
Man,
I was just actually watching that video earlier today. It was 7 touchdowns. I was trying my hardest to get my Uncle Doug up at my job. This is so Hollis. I got an old head at my job that's a Washington Commanders fan, and I always try to get like a little skit with him just to see what his predictions are. But he played it smart this year. He said, "Nah, this year I'm gonna wait till we get our asses handed to us so that I can talk about our downfall." So I'm gonna have something for you guys for the next episode, so that way we can go ahead and show what these Commander fans are really all about. Yeah, Drew, to answer your question, I came home to a new dog this afternoon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, a little puppy. He's probably the size of my hand right now. It's a female, so yeah, I apologize about that.
You got your bulldog?
No, man, that looks like that's going to be my bulldog.
Hey, what'd you get?
It's a
You got a Cocker Spaniel.
It's a Shih Tzu mixed with Jack. What is it? Jack Russell.
Jack Russell.
Yeah,
man.
What happened to the bulldog, man?
Nah, the bulldog is still in the works, bro. Swoop.
No, it's not.
That's
Big difference.
When I get my bulldog, that's what I'm calling him. Swoop.
Hey.
Mr. Ivo,
Don't use don't usually do this, but 38-7. I like that.
27-21. Fist with Pete, bro. Me and you gonna have a talk. Are you going to Arizona? Because when you go to Arizona, me and you gonna have a talk, bro.
Hey. Well, no, it's like
his name, but
We haven't given her a name yet. My daughter is like all up in the air. She started off with Cotton Candy Sparkles.
oh god,
So I definitely couldn't go with that one. So, yeah, we'll see.
I just want to see you calling the dog at night Sparkles.
Cotton Candy Sparkles, really?
Yeah.
Get inside Sparkles.
Get inside Sparkles.
Now, as we like to predict things, talk things into existence. Offensive MVP against the Washington Commanders.
Who we going with first? You got this, Hollis, or you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Miles Sanders.
God damn it! I should have went.
Oh, okay.
Because that 28th versus run, they give up 157 per game, and then watching them, I watched them get thrown out of their gaps many times, and the DBs and the safeties and the DBs are coming up on bad angles. They're stinking up the joint. So I think we should be able to not get about a buck 75 on them, like Prime said.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you, man. That was my guy, and I'm gonna stick with it. I think Miles Sanders is gonna go off this week.
Miles Sanders, another one.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a great game, man. Like I said, I know for a fact I have a great feeling he's gonna break 100, and I don't know, man. I see two touchdowns his way. Two touchdowns his way, man. So that's my prediction with Miles.
But Prime, one of the main reasons I picked Miles Sanders is because all the other stuff that we're speaking about the receivers and about Jalen Hurts being able to get off. I think that's what's going to help everybody else get off. They're going to have to put 8 in the box, because I want them to put 8 in the box. And once they do that, oh man, toast. Toast.
I hear you.
Shout out to Alexis. He was down at the tailgate. We got to talk for a quick minute. Usually we get that bro hug going on. But sorry, we didn't get to chop it up as long as we did in the past. But
yeah, he stopped by. He stopped by real quick. Yeah.
So he says Dallas Goedert is gonna have he's gonna be offensive MVP. Nuri's got AJ Brown. Mark has Dallas Goedert going for 100+ yards, 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Feast with Pete says Devontae Smith goes for over the 125 yards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with I'm sticking. I think Hurts is on one as of late. So Hurts is on one. So.
Oh, well, the man's collecting rent from everybody, so I'm not mad at you for that one.
So we go now. We switch over to the defensive side of the ball. We'll start with you, Mr. All Defense over there. Who do you got, Hollis, for your defensive MVP?
I'm going with Sweat. Sweat, blood, and tears. Sweat, blood, and tears. Because I felt they lost one of they have their right tackle is in his second year. And Sweat has been making sport of him the last few years. I see him with a couple of sacks, probably more pressure. I think this is a game where he's going to go off.
So Nuri says Whiteside. Tim says Josh Sweat. Lena Hargrave. Jordan with the sleigh. Stifler says AJ has 3 TDs. Okay, player.
Who you got, Prime?
I mean, I'm seeing some good names on these comments, man. I definitely think it's going to be one of the linebackers that's going to go ahead and go off. I mean, Carson kind of sucks when it comes to linebackers, and now that we got some good linebackers on the squad, I can see the pressure being put on him, and him making mistakes, and the linebackers being there at the right place. So I'm gonna go with Kazir White, man. I think Kazir White's going to go ahead and shine this Sunday on the defensive side. I definitely would like to go with Reddick, because Reddick needs to.
Come on.
Definitely spark it up a little bit. But, at the end of the day, I understand that the scheme that they got him running is not really him. So, I don't know. Maybe this weekend they'll go ahead and let him loosen up a little bit, and we'll see what happens.
I'm going to go – this is tough. Because last week I had Slay last week.
Yeah. So let's pick one. I don't see why nobody picked one of the big dogs in the interior, because
I was going to say
it's a pitch. It's a pitching Cooper in that interior that's in the guard.
All right, because that was my second. That was Fletcher Cox. I want to see one of those when he's on the ground.
Yeah, when he crawling through the woods hunting.
Yo, I mean, I could see the old teammates giving Carson some shit. I really can. So you know, what I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Fletcher comes out with the guns.
Yeah, now somebody just put up Jordan
last week.
Either that or open up the door and give it a good stomping. You know what I mean? From Harvard.
Yeah, I think somebody just put up Jordan Davis. That would be interesting if he took advantage of those young guys up front.
That would be.
They'd be quite because they're around the same age as him. So it could be it could be a party. Yeah.
All right, man. I mean, like I said, man.
What's the deal with the hat, Gil?
Huh?
What's the deal with the hat?
Philadelphia Stars.
Oh, all right. I didn't see the Philadelphia part. My bad.
Negro League hat.
Yeah.
Lids. They're $10. But when I went to visit that Vikings fan, who
I'm assuming you in NY right now.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you fitting in real perfectly. Okay, I see it. I get it.
You know, every time I go to New York City, I wear something Philadelphia just so they know.
Okay, all right, appreciate that.
No one likes me at work. I don't care. I don't care.
Somebody said they heard Cox and is Cox and Carson good friends? I highly doubt it. I don't think he's invited them to North Dakota.
He definitely did.
I got a curveball as we close out in a few, but I got a curveball.
Oh boy!
And this, I mean, we'll throw this at Prime first.
Okay.
Throw this at Prime first, and then people in the chat, if you had one question to ask Carson Wentz, what would it be?
Oh man! All right. What the fuck went wrong? Like what went wrong, man? Like I was sold, bro. Like I was all in. I mean, I was one of your biggest like supporters, and you just like decided to grab them and tuck them in, and it became like the biggest bitch of all time. Like, what happened? I mean, do you need a hug? Do you want to? I don't know. But I'll tell you what. The defensive line will take care of that this week, and they're going to give you all the love and hugs that you need come Sunday. Right?
Well, my one question would be, where's your competitive nature? Where is it at? Because I don't. Just like we were talking about when they drafted anybody in my position, I played with over 100 different defensive linemen, and every year they bring somebody in and take your spot. Where's your competitive nature to kick ass and take names, to stick where you want to be, where you want to be? Where's your competitive nature? Where's your nuts? At some point, you got to drop them. What the hell? Just because they draft somebody in the second round, they just paid me. This is my team to fuck up. But wow. That's what. Where's your nuts? Where's your nuts?
The comments have spoken as well. They said, Jock Talk says, "Did Howard make you cry?" Tim says, "What did you actually say to Sproles?" I would say, going to your point, Hollis, that at what point did you like pack it in? Where you because I'm like you make that statement about like if you haven't played football, like people are always trying to take your position, so you always got to fight for that. So at what point did you decide to pack it in? Like at what point in the season was it? Because there's so many questions, man. That year I was asking anyone who had any access to anything, I'd ask all day, every day. What do you know? Because just to get to the bottom of it. But so I mean, at the end of the day, we don't really talk about the past much.
Well, yeah, but
Carson Wentz, what we're doing today.
But the one thing somebody just said in one of the comments, what happened to you from 2006 to 2017? What happened to that guy? That guy who came out with a purpose. That guy who took the coaching, who came out and was using us and being a team guy and putting the team on his back and kicking ass.
The guy that had me convinced, man.
Yeah, I was like, what happened to that? I was like, and then all of a sudden, you thought you lost your job, but then they turn around and show you that they want you to lead their team. They could do that. It's kind of, I don't know what other way that they can show you 184 million. What other way are they gonna show you that this is your team?
It's the truth, man.
It's like when a team does that, they're taking the worry away from you about somebody else taking your job. It's yours to lose. And the only way you lose it is like you did, leading the league in interceptions, because you cannot continue to trot that out there and tell everybody else we winning. We trying to win. What happened to the 2000? Somebody said it. What happened to the 2016, 2017 Carson, competitive Carson? Carson who kicked ass to take names. What happened to that cannon?
Yeah, man.
It's like, what happened? You're walking tub of Jello now. You're really a laughing stock because people are making it. You're a quarterback now that they're making concession for. And when I say that, that's when they talk about the quarterbacks who stake up the joint. The first thing they say, well, they need some weapons. Well, they need this, they need that. No, they need to sit their ass down. That's when you start to make concessions for a quarterback. That's not the quarterback I want. It's like he's turned into one of those guys. So I mean, that's what I would ask him. I would ask him, well, what happened to the 2016, 2017 competitive ass kicking Carson? Because that's who Prime and I fell in love with. But I don't fall in love for that damn long. Once you don't have to score on me that many times to know that it's time to move on. Times must and always will change. We have a new bitch in town, and his name is Jalen Hurts. That's our new woman. That's not so much woman, but that's our new QB. He's got the competitive juices that everybody likes. That's the only thing, Prime. The only thing is Carson lost those competitive juices that we love to see. He lost all of that. I don't know how or what made him lose it, but that's what he lost.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out this weekend. Shout out to Philly Sports Trips. Shout out to Bud Light for sponsoring the tailgate. Also, shout out to Conchi Bakery for hooking us up with all the beautiful tomato pies and
cool
pizzas. But shout out to them.
So with the Wooden Indian gonna be there, passing out some cigars and stuff.
Cigars, okay.
Yeah, so
Prime, you smoke cigars?
Hey, I'm down.
I guess I'll dabble this weekend.
Yeah, you'll dabble this. If we get that Swedish slow roasted victory,
I guess we just need to get on Hollis's level this weekend, bro.
Yeah, we got to get on my level, man. Yeah. We going down. We going down to get rowdy, body.
You sure you gonna have your chalice too with your cigar?
No, I just probably drink out the bottle because I'm a man and I win. That's how it goes. The Senate Geneva Convention, look it up while we down there. You want to go first on the last word? I see you posted the last word.
Yeah. Hollis, you want to give us your last word?
My last words is we going down to DC on Sunday to try to get a victory. I fully expect us to come back with a victory. But I want to see my squad make some quality progressions and get closer to the form. Like, because we're on the rise. We got to stay on the rise and not let this be a catch-22 game, because that's probably going to be next week. The game against the Jaguars. But the Jaguars, if the Jaguars win, it won't be. But I said this to Gail that this might be a catch-22 game. But then looking at it, it's an NFC East game. So I just want us to go down there and kick their fronts in so we can have a tender, slow ride back to Philly. Yeah.
Todd in the comments, he said, "I'd like to thank him, Carson, for introducing us to Dutch the Destroyer. He was our good Dutch. Now, that was a very touching story about that.
Cool.
Dutch. Prime. Oh,
look at the puppy. Look at
on deck. Look at this.
Yeah, that's one manly looking puppy, Prime.
What the Jawn is turning ice cream cones and puppies right now.
Yeah, I mean the people are asking for the dog, so here's the little one.
What name do we got though?
I still working
on that,
bro.
Still working on Dawkins.
Yeah, they want me to name some great names here, but I can't name the female that I gotta.
Sasson.
Yeah, I like that, but
interesting.
But I'm actually leave it up to my daughter to go ahead and name her.
Name her woman. Come here, woman. Get over here, woman. So, sorry. Too much James Brown. Sorry about that.
Mark comes to
Sparkles.
So very nice. Very nice. This guy.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Sparkles is the last word.
I got suckered, bro.
The last word.
So Sparkles is his last word.
That's your last word. Sparkles.
Last word is definitely not Sparkles, but last word is looking forward to Sunday. Hopefully, a lot of you guys are going to catch up with us up there. There's still opportunity for the tailgate, for the sports trips. But looking forward to a blowout, man. Looking forward to seeing this team go to work and put that damage on Carson, man, just to go ahead and show him, yo, you missed out, bro. You should have got your shit together, but hey, it is what it is.
Last word. It's going to be a tremendous trip. There's going to be a lot of Eagle fans down there. We're going to take over the stadium like usual. I think the energy should be it's going to be cracking down there. Like I think it's just a time to show that dominance, man. Nothing like going 3-0. It's not about being. I'm pretty confident in this football team. What we've seen, trench warfare,
right?
Playmakers across the field. Jalen's he's firing at a high clip right now. The vibes are right, and the Lions are about to catch an L. So that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one. And shout out to Mal and Evan Herman.
Yeah, Evan Almighty.
Working hard. We love you guys. But
working hard.
we'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, fly Eagles fly.